Check this out. Look at that. Pow! Unbelievable. Just thought I'd throw this in at the start. Gamma up into the air. Darby down below. It's actually Toga, but Toga as Darby grabs the Ochako up with a beta, is burning her in midair with the hug, and I take Ochako right out of his hands with the Deku beta. Unbelievable. Okay, into the actual video itself. The other day I got to play with the current #1 ranked player in the world on the leaderboard, Slays NA. One day I'm going to need to ask him what the NA stands for, because he's in Europe, so I know it doesn't mean North America. So I need to know, what does NA stand for? But Slays NA, #1 ranked player in the world, arguably one of the best All Mights around. Probably not even arguably, like he is one of the best All Mights around. Fantastic player. And let's not take anything away from Akuma DG Dav as well. I'm going to call him Dave. Dave is another phenomenal player. Really, really good player. He's outstanding with All Might, and he's outstanding with Toga. And I'm sure he can play other characters really well too. So very, very fortunate for me to play a few games, not only just with one of these guys, but both of them together. And yeah, you know, we had some very fun games, so hopefully you guys will enjoy the matches in this video. But of course, you know, the thumbnail and the title is going to be all about the #1 player, because yeah, hey, that's how YouTube works. You got to get out those eye-catching titles and whatnot. But yeah, make no mistake, Dave is awesome as well, and Slays, you know, #1 ranked player in the world this season, so doesn't really need any more explaining than that. And we have a very good lobby here on our hands. You know, again, if you are clued into this game, when you look at the top left, throughout the game, you'll notice a bunch of pretty damn solid players who all know how to do a job. Pow! How about we put that Gamma on ice, Darby? So yeah, this was a fun lobby filled with fun opponents, and of course, I have myself some fun teammates. Hopefully they feel the same way about me, but I don't know. Maybe maybe they don't. But I'm sure they don't mind me. They don't mind their own little red Deku tagging along. Look at that. This is what, we're not even communicating, and we just know, hey, I got something for you. You do? That's so nice of you. Here, funny story. I got something for you. You do? You know, it's just one of those things. And when you play with players who you don't normally play with, or players you're playing with for the first time ever, obviously, you know, I've played with these guys before, but just in general, showing your teammates, you know, that you're willing to give them cards that you've picked up for them, it's a really great way to build trust with your teammates and to make them want to play with you again in the future. Because again, I do know some of you in the comments, sometimes you're like, I don't find anyone that wants to play with me, or when I get good teammates, they don't want to play with me again, or, you know, it's understandable. It is hard to find good teammates in this game if you haven't had them for a long time. You know, a lot of my teammates I've played with since Season 1. Some I've even played with in the beta. So, you know, if you don't have that sort of long-standing, you know, relationship with some players, it might be hard to find, you know, players that are around your wavelength. So I will say, yeah, when you do find players that you do enjoy playing with, maybe it's the first time, maybe it's something that you've seen them like 2 or 3 times, but not something that's regular. Just say, you know, give them some stuff. Show them that you're not just playing the match for yourself. Show them you're a team player. That kind of stuff goes a long way. And yeah, it might help you find more reliable teammates that you do enjoy teaming up with, because they will see you as someone that's reliable, or someone that, you know, they're not going to be frustrated with. The best way to take advantage of those mirrors are when they come up for air from their moves. And that's the thing I think a lot of people are struggling with when they're fighting Mirio. They don't know, like, when's the right time to try and hit this guy. The right time to try and hit this guy is when he's just missed, or he's getting ready to do a move. Anything in between, he's probably going to be, you know, permeating. So you're probably not going to be able to hit him. And if he's not permeating, it probably means he's flying through the air at Mach 5. So you're not even going to hit him anyway. So yeah, you always want to just... The best way to hit those Miryos is to punish them right after they essentially miss. And they're in that short cooldown period of trying to get back onto their feet. Or, you know, as they're charging up an alpha. Or even doing an alpha, you know, the chain. That's when you really want to hit them. Look at that. You know when you're in a sweaty lobby. Just because once things start kicking off, there is almost like no time to breathe. There's always someone somewhere. And that's why it's so important to get regular intervals of healing. Because just when you think you're done with a fight, another team's going to show up. Just when you think you're done with a fight, another team's going to show up. Just when you think you're done with a fight, someone from a fight that you thought you were done with, now that guy's turning back up, you know, and it's always constant. That's why you always never overextend. And sometimes I play with really good players who are great technically, maybe, you know, better than me technically, but they have their own issues in the game where they overextend. They're so good at the game, but they get into one fight too many, and that's why they go down. Or they hang around one fight for like 10 seconds too long, and that's why they go down, you know. But when you can mix and match, when you know when to push and go crazy, and when you know when it's the time to say, hey man, this is not looking good for my health bar, I need to go. When you mix both of those together, not only will you survive longer, but, you know, you'll punish people better too. Got serial killer Dave down there going crazy on his Stain arc, slicing and dicing. Who do you think would win in a... I was going to call it a sword fight, but it's not technically correct, so I'm going to call it a blade fight. Who would you think would win in a blade fight, Toga or Stain? Toga versus Stain. Her knives versus his sword. But to be fair, he also has like miniature weapons as well that he could use. I think he has like a ninja-esque, not the Fortnite streamer, a ninja-esque set of weaponry. Look at that. You can only pretend to be the #1 player in the world. You can only take his name, but you cannot take what he can do on the field. I'm telling you, man, that is one of the scariest All Mights you'll ever come across. Slays. He's very, very good All Might. But I know a bunch of really good All Mights. I think because of how strong a character All Might is, when a top player is, you know, very familiar with them, it just makes him, you know, so much more deadly than than most people are prepared for, really. You know, that splash damage is huge. That mobility is huge. You know, it really is one of those instances where you don't want to get caught slipping. Oh, that would have been there for the taking. Everybody's favorite beta. Look at him. So hungry to hit me with yet another beta. He couldn't help himself. Like, fucking hell, calm down, dude. I'm gonna get up. If you just wait 2 seconds, I'm gonna get up. Don't worry. It's okay. You'll get to do another beta. All you have to do is wait. He's trying to pick me up from the ground like I'm a football. Don't worry, dude. All you have to do is wait. You'll get your second beta again. You just let me get up first. Then we can keep on hugging. That's gotta be one of the worst times to show up anywhere in a match. Like, I'm just like, I guess I'll go here then. And I just walk right into an All Might beta that I had no business even being a part of. Like, he didn't even know I existed until he was like midway through that beta, and then I just so happened to put myself there. See, in my head, I meant to press R2, but I pressed R1 instead like a fool, and I missed out on getting that. I missed out on getting that KO. I remember at the moment I was playing this, I was so mad with myself. I was like, I can't believe it. Dealing with Toga's beta rush is so annoying. When you have Red Deku, and it's mainly because like when you jump in the air to do your beta to try and counter it, the blade is gonna hit you before you hit the ground. And on one hand, I'm like, I guess I could put my Y out, like the Gamma. But if things go bad, then you have one less escape option. It's kind of risky. I tried to bait him into like letting it go. And it worked, but it just didn't work well enough. Like, it worked for him. It didn't work for me, it worked for him. He's like, oh, you want to do that? Fine. Eren Yeager. As you can see, man, you know, slays. And Dave just absolutely tore through this lobby. Obviously, I did my part too. 4 KOs, 4 assists. And I was very good background pressure. That's the thing. When you're sometimes you have those games where you're KOing everyone, and sometimes you don't. And when you're not having those games, I mean, 4 and 4 is still good in this lobby. I'd give you that. But when you're having those games where you're not like the main guy, it's always just about providing backup to your teammates, seeing who's trying to take them out while they're trying to do their thing, and trying to push those guys away so you can allow your teammates to breathe and really express themselves in the match. Because sometimes you'll have those games where you're firing on all cylinders, you're the guy. Then other times you're not the guy, but you're still doing important stuff, and you just need to help bolster the guy in that game and just keep people off their shoulders. And that way, you know, your team can move to fruition and score a nice victory. So yeah, shout out to those guys. That was a really good match. And let's go into another one, playing with the #1 ranked player in the world again. And second match of the game. Playing again with Dave and Slays, as expected. Feel like you guys get a look at a lot of different top players when I play with them in the in these ranked games. It's kind of like a highlight to you guys. If you run into these people in a match, you're possibly in big trouble. You know, if you see any of my teammates, you know, in anyone I've played with in ranked, in one of your ranked games, I probably start looking for like the nearest bush to hide in. They are very good. I rate this Shoto. Like, he recognized he had like, you know, a pillar there. He could turn it into a cover shooter, and he did. But a little bit of mind games got him out of that spot. Sometimes all it takes is, as you just saw, literally making it look like you left, and it will make someone give up their position and open themselves up to your counter. It works even better when you have barely taken any damage or not taken any damage, because what that essentially means is you're going to get a freebie shot on them, and it's not even as if you're down in the dumps anyway. That was a beautiful series of follows on those shots. Look at that. This All Might has got to give his doctor a raise, because whatever injections he's been putting into his body has been keeping him alive there. I'm like, hang on a minute, I know you. See, I was expecting him to do the ice the other way. That's why I went up in the air. But I was ready for both. Both scenarios. Look at that catch. That was nice. But how did he end up there? Did you see where he ended up? It didn't make no sense. Didn't make no sense. He just like kitty prided his way through like 2 cars. Itemを発見. Gomen, Shoto. No, I respect those Shoto players out there, to be honest. You know, Shoto is you know, he's a character who's struggles a bit. Like, he's not bad. Don't get me wrong, he's not bad. But, you know, there are some characters that really, you know, take the P, so to speak. There are some characters that really take the P, and, you know, he's not one of them. Used to be, a long time ago, but he's not one of them. So, you know, they have other options, but if they choose Shoto, you know, fair play. Fair play. If we're talking leaks, I think the next character is either Hawks or Overhaul. That's what seems to be the play, Hawks or Overhaul. From what I've heard, one of those two is going to be the next character. I want Overhaul more than I want Hawks, just primarily off the basis that I just want to break from characters who can go anywhere, do anything for a bit. I like Hawks, and he's going to be great, trust. But, like, just let me have a little bit more time in the game where people aren't flying around the sky as much. Do you know what I mean? Maybe I'm going to be the only one on that front, but, yeah, I just would rather not have someone else flying around the air for now. We got a bunch of characters already doing that. Let's just leave it where it is for like another few months. Give us Overhaul, because I'm sure they're not gonna let him fly around the sky like Hawks would. So whatever mobility they give him, if any, they might even like Derby the guy. You know, it's like, yeah, run around on your own 2 feet. You know, technical Derby that is. Yeah, run around on your own 2 feet, and you'll only go in the sky in your dreams. Yeah, every time you close your eyes is when you're gonna fly, and that's it. Because whenever they're open, it's not happening. But to be fair, they it's not like they couldn't give Overhaul mobility. Like, I'm very sure that they probably could if they wanted to. I'm just not sure they will. I'm just not sure they will. I don't know where the fuck you got all of them from. It's like he just dropped Yugi Moto's deck on the floor and like, hey, pick a card, any card, and I want Karibo, I want Kaiser Soldier, I want Celtic Swordsman. I'll take all of those cards, man. I'll take all of those cards. What do you guys think is the most legendary Yu-Gi-Oh card ever? I mean, and I don't mean like the best card ever, I just mean like when you think Yu-Gi-Oh for yourself, like what card immediately comes to your mind? For me, I'm not saying this is the answer for me, but I'm saying it's real flipping up there. Blue Eyes White Dragon. And I didn't even really like Kaiba like that. Like, Kaiba was never my favorite, but when he went Blue Eyes White Dragon, you knew that shit was about to get fucking special. You know, like he said it in such a way that even if you didn't know what that meant, you're like, something's going down. You know, you never even played Yu-Gi-Oh before, but you knew as soon as he said Blue Eyes White Dragon, something's about to happen. You know, some kind of public event. So that was like one of those ones. You know, that was a big card for Yu-Gi-Oh back in the day. When that guy shout Blue Eyes White Dragon. Dark Magician, another one, you know, I think was a big card. Karibo, another big card. Again, not because it was like the best card ever or anything, but like it just had such a hold in the show. You know that sound when a Strike Shigaraki is just trying to fucking grab the back of your neck and you're like, please God, don't let him get me. You just hear that. I don't know if you can hear it in the recording, but you can just hear it. Salivating, that dude, as he's trying to like worm his crusty hands along the nape of your fucking neck. And then just like, stay away from me, dude. I'm surprised I stayed up there that long. That's the thing, I didn't even come off of there like from my own like, you know, volition. I kind of wanted to go back up there. I just messed it up. I was happy to fight both of them at the same time. I felt quite confident in it. But I ended up falling off. Junbi Wanpan! You never stood a chance. Yeah, you as well. I love it when chaos like this ensues around the edge of a circle. It's just so satisfying to take people out. Especially when you catch them outside the zone. I'm like, what are you doing out there? This is way past curfew. Yeah, you as well, buddy. He just dropped dead from that zone, and I was just there. This is the thing. Look at this. That said, look, he's on his 2 feet there. And then I put him down. Nah, you know what it is? I know what happened. Because like I said, some random Darby got the KO, but what must have happened was that Darby was the last guy to attack him. And then as I shot him, before my bullet connected, he went down to zone. And that's why the game said, yeah, that was all Darby. And I'm sitting there like, what do you mean? But technically it was. I was just the executioner. I was not in the courthouse delivering the verdict. I was just told to finish the job. And that's what I did. I just thought they'd give me a law degree at the end of it, but they didn't. I don't know why I'm committing so hard to that whole analogy, but... I feel like at this point, almost more than any other character, when you see a Strike Darby, you just have to hit him as hard as you can, as quickly as you can, and hope that the next time you hit him, he's going to be, you know, close to being finished. Because if you let him have his way with his Gamma and his Beta stuff, it's just going to be like so much free damage on you that by the time you acclimate, you're going to be close to being, you know, finished. So you just always need to, as soon as you see a Strike Darby, he needs to be like one of those guys that you take down first. The only issue is if like on your screen all at the same time you have an Ida and a Strike Darby and like a Toga. Like all 3 of those need to be eliminated as soon as possible, you know. So when you have like all of them like within your purview, it's like, oh, I don't know who I need to target first, because whichever one I target first, the other 2 are going to ruin my life later. So you kind of have to like a, you know, pick your poison-esque sort of thing. And so there you have it. Some teaming up with a world-class Toga and a world-class All Might. One of which is the #1 ranked player on the leaderboard in this current season throughout the world. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing what such a deadly, dangerous and devious combination of players looks like. And thanks to those 2 for having me there. See you guys on the next one. Leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you haven't already. Any questions about the game or anything else, feel free to put in the comments and I will gladly ignore it. Just kidding. I might answer it. Maybe. Also, The First Descendant is a game that I will be streaming on Twitch when that game comes out. Not super tightly, but I probably will be on Twitch a few times streaming that game because I do plan to play it. I'll probably mention it again in the future on the channel, but I don't think I'll do any videos for it. But I will be playing it in my own time and again on stream hopefully a few times, so keep an eye out for that as well.